Yes.
Plus us, I guess.
Yeah.
You think this would function as the list?
Yeah. And
Oh well.
Okay, Francis Bula, can you top that?
I really can't. But I will remind everyone that probably the person who's going to have one of the biggest says in choosing the new planner, we don't know who that is, because very likely the city manager will be chosen first. And we don't know who that is, and that person will have a big say in who the planner is, more than anyone else. Just, a reminder about that. And one of the things, obviously, a lot of what Peter and Marguerite said are sort of what I've seen firsthand. One of the things, though, just a little story that they didn't tell that I get over and over again with every planner, chief planner I've ever reported on, and we have lots of off-the-record talks. One of the parts of their job that a lot of people don't realize, and it's become apparent in some of the criticisms the last few years, but a huge part of their job is saying no to developers who come like, oh, I think I'll buy this industrial land, any chance of rezoning it? Oh, I think I'll buy this. I've had them practically weeping on the phone to me saying, I feel like I can't get anything done. All I do is spend all day on the phone saying, no, you can't do that. Stop it. Because if the city appears to wobble in any way on some of those issues, it just creates massive land speculation. And it'll always be something different. One year for a couple of years, there was a run on hotels. Half the hotel owners in the city were phoning saying, how about if we convert it to condos? And another year it'll be, industrial land, or it's always changing. As with any capitalist system, they're looking at where they can buy cheap and sell high and, make a profit. So developers are always looking at all of the possibilities in the city and then phoning up the planning department to say, well, how about if we did this? And I've heard people criticize the chief planner, and the planning department or council saying, oh, well, you approve everything that comes through, you're just patsies. They don't realize that what comes to council is what's already made it through quite a testing process in the planning department. Hopefully, if that goes awry. Anyway, I just wanted to remind people that there are 4 different masters that the head planner has to serve. One is the public, and there is not a unified public. There's a certain part of the public that is, if I don't get my own way on every issue, then you are a terrible, undemocratic person. And then there's a different public that is, just tell us what the rules of engagement are. Tell us what you're going to do with our input so that we know the limits of what we're able to, how we're able to modify things. And as Peter said, there is a public that doesn't come out to meetings. It doesn't scream and yell and doesn't wait around for 3 nights to present their opinions at public hearings. And it's very difficult to know what their true opinions are, and I know that the planning department has struggled with how do we really find out what the opinion is. They used to do surveys in the neighborhood, and then that got hijacked by very energetic resident groups who would make sure that their group got in the maximum number of surveys. So then it became unrepresentative. So the public, council, who want the head planner to achieve their objectives, and sometimes extremely aggressive agenda, but also don't want them to get council in trouble. So somehow they're supposed to push forward a really aggressive agenda, but somehow appease all the community groups who don't like it, and make sure that council never looks bad or comes across as not listening. Then you have the developers, and they're not a unified group. There's one, I've been talking to people saying I was, coming here to speak about this issue, and when I talk to people in the development community, I hear really different things. Like one group really wants a planner who will bring a sense of design back to the city. There's been a tremendous focus in the last few years on accommodating density, trying to achieve rental, all kinds of things, and there's a sense that design has completely gone by the boards, and I'm sure Frank will be happy to talk about that more. There's another group that just wants certainty on the money and the pro formas. If you're going to make us pay CACs, okay, fine, but can we not have like the 18-month negotiation back and forth where I have no idea what I'm going to pay, and I can't go on the basis of any previous deals because this one might be totally different. The smaller developers feel like they get totally ignored in the city because so much attention is paid to the big mega developments because those ones deliver, you know, huge CAC dollars and so on. And then finally, there's another group that we don't think about, but that's the people inside City Hall, like the people who work in the planning department and the other departments. And if you have a planner who doesn't inspire confidence and agreement with inside City Hall, they can't take things very far. And there's a certain amount of disarray that clogs up the works. And I've certainly heard about that over the years. And oddly, you know, I've never seen anyone who can do all of these, I have to say. You know, there are some planners who, you know, their staff love them and the public hates them, or vice versa. So I think, just to finish up, I think some big issues that the new planner is going to have to address is, do we really need a comprehensive new city plan? Or do we just need someone who can articulate in a coherent way over and over again what is going on? Because sometimes there are actually very, you know, well-articulated plans and objectives, but the public doesn't know about them, so they're surprised. Like, oh, how can you build, you know, townhouses in the back of a heritage building? You know, this is a violation of the neighborhood plan, and it's actually not. It's something that was written in a long time ago to try to preserve heritage. And I do think one of the challenges is going to be trying to figure out how you can communicate authentically with the public, but in a way that people don't feel like, if I just yell the loudest, then I must be the person, our group is the one that should be listened to. And there needs to be, you know, some new ways, some innovative ways tried of talking to people, trying to solicit the opinions of those who don't come out to meetings, and so on. And yeah, finally this person has to be a saint and also achieve world peace.